Heard, please wait. Okay. Okay, it says an error occurred, but it says we're live. Can you check to see if we're live? Because I still have your other Facebook.
You know, Kelsey Graham can no longer.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Somebody, I posted something somebody didn't like. They start making live streaming for a whole month. All I did is copy and paste from an article that I posted the article. Because somebody was like, read the article. I'm referring to an article here. I didn't write this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we can't go live on Facebook, so we're live on YouTube. Hello, everyone.
Oh. Hello.
All right, so you go to YouTube, and if you'll put the information on Facebook, somebody type it in here on Alabama, then everybody knows to go to YouTube to have Alabama on YouTube, and that's where it should be streaming to. And let's check it out as we get started. Open up your YouTube channel.
I'll share that too.
And you can also copy and paste the stream from YouTube. And I don't see it here. Where on YouTube
I got it.
you have it?
On Abnormal Alabama.
There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take and before we get started, we're going to share this so everybody can go through it.
I'm sharing it. It's easier for me today.
Okay.
Must be
1 second, just bear with us a minute. We're, in fact, I want to start streaming on YouTube more often because we want to pick up our subscribers. All right. So we should have a link on Facebook more than once. All right. And you can post that on your timeline or however you want to do it. $100. All right, folks. Abnormal Alabama. You know who I am. Kelsey. This is Kevin, and Catherine is hiding in the corner here.
As usual.
And we got several things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to get to what's on this poster back here behind us. So don't fear, never fear. We're going to get to that. But we're getting close to a very important date that we have spent a lot of money and a lot of time on. And that is the Cryptocon down at Orange Beach. This fellow right here is going to be there. And he's going to have some of these beasts they call haunted dogs with him.
Yes.
He's going to take this picture. What's the picture of the girl? What's her name?
Her name is Mary.
Mary fucking All right, she's ready in red dress. And we're going to talk about all that in just a moment. If you haven't been to Abnormal Alabama on .com, you need to go over there and get your tickets for the Cryptocon.
Yes.
25th and 26th. Going to really get started around 6 p.m. on the 25th because people will be working and whatnot. I will be around, and I think a couple more of these guys will be kind of hanging around there if you want to come and talk to them. We'd love to have the company. We'll have some of the vendors set up on Friday afternoon, and I may walk around and entertain you with some cinnamon. I'm going to do some of David Merlin's tricks.
No.
Like stabbing the car with a knife, got a metal block in it, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
Were you amazed by that stuff?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so I'm going to mimic that behavior.
Oh, you're going to mimic.
Just so there's no dead time or waiting. I think Paul Hall said, have you confirmed with him, Catherine?
I have not talked to Paul.
Okay. Keith Bearden, who is on the lineup and not make it, I just learned last night, he's not going to be with us. So that's going to push Bigfoot Bob. Well, before Bigfoot Bob was like late at night, so this will get him more earlier in the evening. And Bigfoot Bob will be there, and I think Christy's going to be with him. I probably will have with Eric on it. So if you want to know what the future has in store for you, don't ask Kevin, but ask Brittany, and she'll be glad to help you out. we are going to have some drinks, some tea and soda and whatnot. We're going to have some alcohol, but we're trying to. Kevin drinks too much. We can't afford to have a lot.
I don't drink too much.
So bottom line is that we are going to have some refreshments. But we want people, when they get hungry, to walk just around the corner down the street. There's all kinds of good restaurants. And the one, we'll give you the name of it and whatnot. They offer, everybody that comes to Cryptocon gets a discount on their meal at that restaurant. And it's a nice restaurant too. So we're going to give you the information on that. There will be some goods to buy from Bigfoot. I guess this guy right here is going to have at least 10 of his books available. Yeah. He's had a shipment problem with his new book, and that's a shame because that is one of the best covers he's come up with yet.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to get him to do a little audio tease of it. Not the whole book, just the intro, whatever, just to get more interested in it. Because I'll buy it just to display. I'd like to have that just sitting on in my living room to freak people out. So that's a piece of art. And he will autograph his book. If that's not available, believe me, it will be available online. And he's got 10 other books. And this is pretty much going to be a child-friendly event. I don't think we're going to get too far out of hand. We do have to rope Kevin in sometimes. We'll try to keep things in a family-friendly manner. There's going to be a lot of activities at the wharf that Saturday. So we're going to be standing out there and pulling them in as well. It's like, hey, you're here, just go ahead. In fact, if you're just coming in one day, the tickets will be cheaper than if you come both days. But that's reflected online right now at abnormalalabama.com. 2 days is $35, 1 day is $20. And that Kevin is worth that alone. He's spoken to countless numbers of people all over, I know, the Southeast.
Yeah, that's definitely all over.
And he's a good storyteller.
And Alabama, and Georgia. Where else?
And he's been written up in some very well-known publications, I believe. And he's been noted as what was that? He recently awarded something like the Haunted Dog Guy of the Year or something.
I didn't get it. I did. I mean, believe it or not, I appeared in Box Magazine with an article on me, and believe it or not, Playboy last Halloween.
Okay, we are going to try to keep this going. Please keep your shirt on.
Playboy article. Early stuff.
At least wear some pasties, please.
So you have an article about you in Playboy?
Yeah, I shared that last year.
Do you have a copy of it? Do you have a copy of it?
Yeah, I've got a copy saved on my computer. And
okay, right. Let us know. Message us what edition that was for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a hard copy.
Haunted Dolls. And I've got the links to that on my phone. I've got it saved on my computer.
So, a lot of people get into haunted objects. That guy, he buys up stuff. He's trying to buy that John Gacy's piece of property, which is not going to fly land.
Hold on just a second. Kelsey, are you online? Will you make sure we have sound?
I had sound a second ago.
Just to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to echo.
Okay. I was just making sure I had my sound on and I didn't. It wasn't working on my.
So if you are over at Facebook, the links are there. While you're here, subscribe to this channel, please. Yes. And then, of course, go over to Kevin's YouTube channel, which is My Haunted Dolls, and subscribe to his channel. We've been growing a lot. I've been getting subscribers on a regular basis.
I've got more subscribers.
Now, we have just entered the building 2 major rock stars over somewhere around Pelham, Helena area. One of them kind of looks like Bigfoot, maybe shaved or something. I don't know. And have a seat. Move anything you want. Sit down, relax. Now, are you capable of showing him any of the software while you're doing it? If you want to scoot over there and you want to learn something while we're talking, just grab a chair.
That's off camera. So.
Yeah.
I'm off camera.
So he wants to learn and help with video photography stuff. He got it. He got it. Oh, look at him. Man, I tell you what, Carl's getting friendly.
There you go.
He went from way over there to way over here.
All right, so we have some guests in the house. We're putting, just so everybody knows, we're giving Rick and Bubba a run for their money here. And
I heard it on that radio that
Rick or Bubba?
Bubba.
Bubba, yeah. I like him better than do Rick. Just personally.
I don't know enough to listen to it.
I don't listen to them, but if I had to choose between the two. But anyway, we're going to put them out of business for what we're doing because we have Kevin Cain in front of the camera, not behind it. When he went to their studio, they wouldn't show his face. We proudly show Kevin's face.
On YouTube, you can see me on over there.
Kind of a distance shot, you know. He was further back than you are over there.
Yeah, there's no light on this, but you can see me.
We have a spirit roaming around here, I guess you call that.
Spirit the cat.
Spirit.
She ran across my lap a minute ago. So.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to commercial.
We're going. You just need to let your hair grow and
Well, I'm going to say
we're
probably
back.
still have it.
yeah, but while you got it, go ahead and let it grow. Because we need a character like Jesus.
He would make the perfect.
I'm telling you, he looks like. I'll get the robes
He
and
walks
whatnot.
like what you would think Jesus walks like.
Yeah.
Very deliberate.
Yeah, very peaceful.
We're back
Yeah.
on camera.
Okay, we're back on camera, so we'll stop that conversation. We're going to get to you in a minute. We're talking about the Cryptocon. We're getting very close, just a little over a week away. Carl, who happened to drop in here, I'm glad he didn't drop in. He walked in. But we got concrete for us. He might have heard it say for drop. Anyway, he's going to help me out on Sunday, and he's been helping me put the word out there too. In fact, he's really helped us market this whole thing. So everybody give thanks to Carl. All right.
Y'all been doing the legwork.
Now she's been doing the legwork. I just drive. Okay. So
Lost 25 pounds.
I got to save my legs for other things. So anyway, Carl's going to be standing up with me on Sunday, the day of preparedness. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. It is not a fear type situation. And of course, Carl gets tired of hearing me. I know he's heard me say the same thing over and over, constantly for a long time. But the point still being is that it's not a matter of living in fear. It's a matter of being practical. Because there is going to be another tornado. There is going to be another hurricane. As we just know, we went through another drought. There's all kinds of things that happen that we have no control over. And then there's things that happen that humans bring on each other. And then we have an infrastructure that I don't think sometimes people realize how fragile our infrastructure is. That's why Carl and I both are into ham radios. Carl more so than I, because I can't even get mine programmed right now. And he won't help me. He says he wants to, but he disappears on me. Anyway, we're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about food, everybody's favorite subject, right? We tell by looking at Carl and I, you know it well. Kids too. We love food, right?
Yeah.
In fact, see, we're prepared right here. We're storing up. We're storing it up right here. All right. So the day of preparedness, all that's on our website at abnormalalabama.com. So that's a free, all day Sunday's free. Walk in. I'm going to start that day off with a little Bible discussion. The Bible discussion is going to be tying a Bible story into being prepared and not being too dependent on the government. You know, there's a Bible story like that?
Yeah, there's all kinds of-
This one's profound because the Israelites really got in big trouble because they didn't prepare and they depended on the Pharaoh too much.
Yeah.
And he ended up owning their property and their cattle and their firstborn children too, I think.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit. before we get into the heavy duty stuff. The Carl is more, he's a scouter. He's been volunteering with Scouts how long?
Over 30 years.
So long he can't remember.
I worked in the grocery business about that long.
Yeah, so
But I got paid by the hour.
so what is the motto for the Scouts?
Well, to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know, also being prepared is not just having a stockpile. It's
Oh no,
being mentally prepared.
right. No one had a tie knot. No one had to start a fire.
The confidence, not the panic.
Yeah.
And also, you know, with one of my friends called it consumer credit.
Yeah.
Basic entry, building, day to day. Some people don't even know, you know, you can have a like you said, a man-made disaster. If it happens at your house, it's a disaster. It's like if your neighbor's building a swimming pool.
Uh-huh.
And the concrete truck decides they're going to turn around and run over your water line. And it's a 3-day weekend. And they can't get out there for at least 36 hours.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Go swimming.
Well, the pool's not ready yet.
Yeah, but your living room.
Your water line is broken.
Yeah, well, that's the reality. And then we have power outages, brownouts, blackouts. In fact, in California, because of fear of fires, they've been doing a purposeful blackout in certain parts of California.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things. And I guess in our locale, I think we're super dependent on TVA, aren't we?
I don't know power.
But don't they buy power from TVA?
Well, they all buy power from each other.
Yeah.
TVA's got a large grid.
I know our infrastructure is supposed to bleed over to where if this one goes down, we don't really lose. But they don't always work that way.
And something could go wrong with the infrastructure.
Well, we've got next to my house runs the natural gas pipeline. Okay, and that's a concern, you know. And I don't think a lot of people really. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if we didn't put that odor into it, you could not smell it.
I was looking at that word today. It was in my gas bill with the little warning stuff that always comes in there.
Yeah.
It starts with a C.
The name of the odor. Yeah. Because if they didn't add that odor when you smell natural gas, you couldn't smell it. That's something we put in there to protect ourselves.
That's the reason they used to take it when they were digging wells. They would take a candle or a canary down with them in the well or not a candle, a canary down in the well with them, so that if the canary flopped over dead, you knew that there was natural gas there because their little lungs would fill up quicker.
That's canary.
Yeah, well, it's better than human abuse, I guess.
We need to have a special preparedness day for
Well, the canary died just before the mule, and then the mule died and you were in big trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, for you, I died. We were extended.
And you see these people all the time, you know, talk about animal cruelty and their dogs. And I love cats around here, you know. And before y'all got here, that cat said, my arms all down. And they're comfort animals, you know. And they also will follow you there. You know.
Very comforting.
I've
But
got
the thing is, like I've often said, I wish that we would treat each other as well as we do our dogs.
That's going to do that for another convention.
That's another, no, we're not going there. We're getting sidetracked. Okay, so preparedness, we're not a doomsday prepper. We're not over the top. We're not going to build a silo. We can't afford a silo. No missile silo. But just practical things. And we're all preppers to begin with. We don't even think about it. You've got insurance, not because you live in fear of your house burning, but because you live with a reality that it could. You've got auto insurance.
Peace of mind.
That's it. You know, it's like things, the old saying is, crap happens. So we know these things, and that's why we prepare. We just want to bump it up a little bit. And that story I'm going to open up that day with that Bible story is very interesting because if we just rely totally on FEMA and on the government, that could be a horrible thing to have to do. And we've seen that in action before.
And I think that the way you're bringing it in is going to be better because a lot of people will have the benefit of FEMA.
Yeah.
But FEMA doesn't get cranked up in 3 hours.
But they have
You
been,
might get hungry in 3 hours.
yeah. Well,
Or
first,
thirsty at the bottom bar.
First-
Or you got to have enough supplies, and that's their own recommendation. 3
Yeah.
days.
well, if it happened in Alabaster, then the first thing that happens is the mayor's got to call the governor to declare and beg for a state of emergency for Alabaster. And then the governor's got to contact DC to get the funding and get FEMA in here. So you got a certain process before any of this cranks up. I'm sure it's not just a matter of, okay, FEMA, you know.
Yeah, it's not that crank. It's not ready to crank up at that speed like that.
Yeah. But it's like insurance. And another way I like to look at it is insurance is fine and police is fine, but you got to understand police and insurance only come in after the deed is done. So what you need to be preparedness includes prevention as well. And prevention can mean what tools are around, what I have around my property, around my house to protect me, not Miranda, you know, all that kind of stuff.
That list that you put on there originally was a very good list of things I had.
Yeah.
It lists everything, all the basic things.
Oh, I got a lot of material because I didn't realize it when we started this. September was month of preparedness. So tied in very good at what we're doing. That day is free. We just gave you a little bit of tease on what we're doing here. And then back to the Cryptocon, that we're going to be there. I'll be there most of the day. In fact, I'm going to probably be there all day. I think I'm going to go up Thursday night because in Foley, they're shutting downtown Foley down Thursday night for a big festival type Halloween thing. And I'm going to go down there and just pass out flyers to all those people. That's just right down the road from our beach. And then I'll be there first thing Friday morning, get the building opened up, and whoever shows up, you know, we start setting up tables, whatever, and catching people on the street, you know, hey, go in. But the actual speeches, the presentations won't start till later in the evening when people are off of work. But as I was telling Kevin, I will entertain people. I've got a whole magic show I can do, and I put David Murray to shame. He's got bigger acts, but I'm more entertaining than him.
He's probably watching this. Hey, David.
David, we love you, but I mean, truth is truth, you know.
He's a silly clown man, though.
I'm gonna come in my kid costume.
Yeah, just paint yourself white. You got the clown with
Put some cotton balls on the stick.
There you go.
it.
So again, on that lineup, Keith Bearden is not going to be able to make it. So we've only got 2 Bigfoot speakers on Friday evening. I do know Bigfoot Bob's going to be there, and he's a whole entertainment show by himself. If you never met Bigfoot Bob, I saw him. He is the man. His wife is a full-time entertainer, singer, songwriter.
Which one's her? Which one?
Brittany Alabama Rose, and she's going to be there reading tarot cards. So if you want to know, you don't need to go to a doctor. She can tell you when you're going to die.
Who's going to live?
All right. So we're going to go as late. The difference between this event and the castle that we had in February is that we've got this building 24/7 all the way through Sunday. So nobody's going to be standing over us telling us we got to stop at a certain time. If we're having fun, people are enjoying themselves, we may just keep rolling to midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever. We are not going to be selling alcoholic drinks because Kevin's going to be there. He's underage.
Yes, you will need to.
But again, we look at getting food trucks. We walk the streets, and one of the restaurants in particular.
It's actually, they have 3 of them there.
3 of the restaurants there in particular are offering everybody's coming to Cryptocon a 10% discount on your food. So all you got to show is your armband and you get a discount on your food. So we're going to do that. We are going to set up a psychomantium. I was going to bring my trailer down. I decided to set it up inside. It'll be cooler, more comfortable, easier to get to, more manageable.
Plenty of room there, right?
Oh gosh, this place is huge. Yeah. It is huge. The stage is just the stage is at least as big as this room here. So if you got a whole rock and roll band you want to bring up there,
Well, they had the band Alabama play
oh,
there.
Alabama plays this recently. Such a huge stage. You can bring all your dogs and set them in chairs, high chairs, and all that. So anyway, that's Friday. You're welcome to come in anytime we're there. You don't have to wait till a certain time. Some of us will be there. Some of the vendors will already be set up, and we'll entertain you through conversation and any other way we can. Frank and I have talked about we were going to get strippers. We can't afford them. So him and I are going to do a reverse stripping routine. We're going to walk out naked because we figured if we walked out naked, people would pay us big bucks to put our clothes on.
That's after the kids leave.
Well, we can come in our Speedos.
Out of there.
You see a 65-year-old man come out Speedos. It'll pay me for clothes real quick. Please, please. Get the exorcist. All right. All right.
Kevin's next.
So Friday evening is going to be Bigfoot and cryptids and whatnot. We'll get that done there. We separated it because last time a lot of people wanted to talk about Bigfoot, but did not want to hear about haunted dogs. And then some people want to hear about haunted dogs. He couldn't believe it.
I mean, they're just strange.
Yeah, you just $35. You stay for the whole weekend.
What event was that they didn't want to hear?
You're haunted dog.
When was that?
That's in February 9th.
Oh,
Freaking
wow.
out. I have people now I talk about
Oh,
haunted
they
dogs.
were freaking out.
That's the whole reason Keith Bearden's not coming.
Seriously?
He's scared of your dog.
Oh, I'll go roping up on the way down there.
All right. So Saturday's going to be, we're getting into paranormal. We're getting into the ghost hunters. We're getting into all that kind of stuff. It starts about, I think, 10 o'clock in the morning, Catherine.
Yes.
And they're going to run that thing all day. According to how it goes, I may do a presentation or I may not. I got a different twist on things I've been working on. And I'm working on my own book, Dating the Dead, datingthedead.com. You ever want to date the dead, John? No? Better than having no date at all.
I don't know. If I date the dead, they might smell and.
But actually, there's a lot of history behind this. I'm joking, but really and truly, our relationship with the dead going back for millennia is a very interesting history. And up till today, in parts of China and Japan and whatnot, in fact, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, still marry in proxy for the dead. And it's been there, and they baptize for the dead, all that stuff. So it's something that goes back into history. So my presentation, if I do that, will be about covering this history of our relationship with the dead. So if we're talking to dolls, or if we're talking to ghost hunting, what are we doing? We're entertaining the dead. That's just the reality of it. Some people don't like to word it that way, but isn't that it?
Yeah, I said the spirits.
No, that's it. Dead. That's it.
Dead sounds
spirit.
like dude. You know, the spirit.
Yeah.
Passed on.
See, I got part of my university up in Brooklyn, New York, and on the street up in Brooklyn, that's dead and stinking like Abraham Lincoln.
I kind of tease when people use different ways. Like my father passed. I said, "What did he pass?"
There you go.
And then somebody said, "We lost our father." I said, "Oh, how careless of you!"
My problem, when I was going to university, I worked at a funeral home, and you develop a very weird sense of humor working around that environment. And also, did crime scene cleanups, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, I know what you're saying.
So we'd be standing around the viewing at the funeral home, and we'd, in our black suits, standing real solemn, and got 2 hours for family to come in and do their private viewing. And inevitably, somebody would come along and say, "Don't he look natural?" And we'd say, "He always looked dead."
He looked like clay. It's all
Yeah. And of course, everybody knows that her and I wear the T-shirt that say "Future Corpse." We gotta get
Future
John
corpse of America.
League of Future Corpse.
Yeah.
If you're a future corpse, that means you're alive. So embrace it.
Yeah.
So it's just when the future part leaves that, it's when you got problems.
I won one of those shirts.
Did you give him his shirt?
But it's not the right material. I can't. It's hard for me to wear. Not that. I don't have cotton.
When I got used cotton.
I'm gonna get cotton and get it to make one.
She can- If you'll stand over her and manager, she can do anything you want.
I cannot do the cottons with a sublimation.
No, but
because-
she can do it with other.
yes, I've got him one back
She
there.
can do it.
I'm gonna get one.
We've got hundreds of shirts back here.
But we have to get one of my size.
I've got one.
Bigfoot and I wear the same size.
No, actually, Bigfoot lost one away. Have you seen him lately?
No, I didn't take you out.
There's been so many people out hunting for Bigfoot that he's been having to run too much to get his blurry pictures, you know, and you haven't been.
This picture's a real blurry.
That's because he's constantly trying to hide, you know, and it's always in motion. And you've been kind of sitting a whole lot.
We
So,
never need to go out and look for Bigfoot.
well, we're going to.
We're gonna go out, we're gonna set up a listing post. Yeah.
I've got a
We're
bunch.
not gonna go camping now, but I'm gonna man the listing post. And those that want to go out on two-person patrol can.
And we're going to do it right next to the old cemetery,
And
right?
then if you're not ready by daylight, then we'll set out looking for
If you're lucky.
Everybody needs to see you.
After we get through going to walk after the break.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one forward? Yep.
It's called Ford's Mill.
Okay. So he spent a lot of time up around my old neighborhood,
North Carolina.
Lauderdale County, right? Yeah, Florence, the
Mhm.
Shoals area,
Yeah.
where all the recording studios
West
are.
Lauderdale County.
Beautiful, some beautiful country out there.
Very remote.
University of North
On the
Alabama.
Tennessee border, one of the best haunted houses in Alabama is up on Highway 72 around Killett. It's up on the right.
I've heard of
It is awesome. Yeah.
What's the name of
I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember it.
the actual house? Or you talking about one of those
I bet my family would know. I call it.
attractions?
It's one of those attractions, but
Oh,
it's a good one. And then they also built right there with it a place where you can get rid of your rage. You can go in and throw TVs and you know what do they call it? You know what I'm talking about.
That's a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's still good.
I haven't heard of that.
Those are.
Yeah. Well, and of course we went here in town. We're going to get to it in a minute, Kevin. The Phobia Factory over here. You didn't go there yet.
No, I heard of it.
It's not one of the over the top ones. It's more kid friendly, but it's pretty cool. And of course, one thing I like about it is the people that own it are just wonderful people. The guy that started it, and it's worthy of seeing. I did a whole video on it too. It's very dark, so it's not like you see a whole lot of the video, but you get to see quite a bit. And I understand since we did it, people have been telling me on YouTube that they've added to it. So it is headed back toward Calera. It's on the left.
And they have a kid-friendly time. There's a
Yeah.
check out.
You know it, yeah.
There's a home attraction right now, and I can't think of where it was. I saw one of the YouTube channels that they, when you go in, they have you write down what your phobia is, and they'll be sure to incorporate that.
So they plan.
Well, they can't
Or if
incorporate
you-
mine.
If you're not afraid of
Well,
something, you
what's
just
your
want to see
phobia?
something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not afraid of something, but you want to see something, you can like clowns
Just
right
laugh
there.
at it, right?
I'm terrified. I'm terrified of heights.
I put in a stalker clown just so I
Are
can see
you
what follow.
communicating with these people on YouTube to saying hello?
I didn't
Hello,
say
good
that.
evening. I see that.
Yeah.
I-
All right, so we're talking about all this wonderful stuff. We got kind of sidetracked a little bit, but on that day, it's still your fault.
You want talking? I'm still
Well,
playing with
this
those
is
things.
just a week away, a little over a week away.
I know,
so,
a week and a half.
You know, so Kevin's going to be there. He's got ample time to talk about his haunted dogs. I don't know what stories he's going to tell, but go to myhaunteddogs.com. You'll get an idea. Hopefully, he's going to have Crimson. And no, it's not football.
It's not roll tide.
He's trying.
Although I love roll
That's
tide.
called on the internet. They call that clickbait.
There you go.
Clickbait means
I
that
was
they kind of mislead you and you click on it thinking you're seeing something that you're not seeing.
I was doing something smart and didn't know it. How about that?
You didn't know it's called clickbait?
Well, I know about clickbait, but I didn't think about
That's
clickbait.
clickbait, because they see crypto.
Then-
Oh, what's going on there?
Hey,
Like nothing.
hey.
So he's going to be there. Frank Lee and Kent Hobson, they've got a unique thing, and I put out a lot of information on that. A different approach to researching parapsychology and what we call the paranormal.
Yes.
And very, very, very interesting, entertaining, thought-provoking. Let me put it that way. If you come to our event, it's not going to be like some of these others. You're going to walk away having been entertained by people like Cain and having your thoughts challenged by people like Frank Lee. So it's going to be a learning experience. It's going to be a growing experience, and it's going to be well worth your time. That same day, we've got Joe Vitale, who is from Bristol, Tennessee, and he's been all over the travel channel. He's been on all kind of these TV shows, ghost hunting shows and whatnot. So he's very entertaining. We've got, I'm trying to think of everybody, we've got Sasha. Sasha's going to be, and she's kind of her approach kind of ties in with Grace because she's going to talk about demonology, but she's going to talk about a scientific view towards demonology. That's going to be an interesting take. Plus, she wrote that book on the liabilities of ghost hunting and so forth. In other words, when you go into an abandoned building and on other people's property, there are liabilities involved that you should be thinking about if you do this. So that's going to be good. Who am I missing now?
Will and Christina.
Oh, Will and Christina from Atlanta. Entertaining. Will's going to be talking about ufology, and so is Cat Hobson. They'll be talking about ufology. So those aliens are going to be there. That's something that people kind of got to me about February 9th. We didn't have any UFO talk. So Cat and Will both will be talking.
We'll be talking
about ufology. And Christina is going to be talking more about their experiences and so forth. Who else am I missing?
I think you got everybody.
Bigfoot will be there.
That's on Friday night.
like Bigfoot.
The big
Oh, yeah. Bigfoot. Going to be Bigfooting around the property. You get a selfie with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
All right.
And guys, if you happen to see Bigfoot in New Orleans this weekend, or Gulf Shores, Foley, Orange Beach, Mobile, Biloxi, maybe even, was it Pensacola? Be sure you hit Bigfoot up and say, hey.
If you
Have a
see,
surprise for
if
you.
you see Bigfoot on the streets of anywhere on the Gulf Coast this weekend, and you approach Bigfoot and you simply say to Bigfoot, Cryptocon, you'll get a discount on your ticket.
Ooh.
But you've got to approach Bigfoot and say Cryptocon. So if you see Bigfoot wandering the streets of New Orleans, Gulfport, Mississippi, or Biloxi, or Mobile, or Pensacola, anywhere along that area at all over the next, starting probably Friday evening through Sunday, and you see Bigfoot, you approach Bigfoot, and you'll get a big discount on your tickets for next weekend.
Accidentally say ShakaCon. They don't.
If you say ShakaCon, she's gonna say, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Wrong show.
Maybe do a little dance.
I don't even know what ShakaCon is.
All right, and then there's again, if we're having a good discussion, some of you guys had bought the VIP tickets, and that means there's a special room on the side of the stage, kind of glassed in. You got your own private restroom, so you have to wait in line for the other restroom. We're going to have some kind of hors d'oeuvres and whatnot set up for you. And also, you'll get a free tarot card reading and whatnot in there. And we hope that the speakers like Kevin will come in there and entertain you and sit and chat with you. Maybe he'll bring a dog in. And I know he will bring some books in there for you to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe since you're in the VIP room, he might even give you a discount. He'll at least take a selfie and autograph it.
He just roping me in. No, I was just thinking maybe do some kind of special thing.
Yeah. So you've got a side view of the stage, and you've got a little special area there for you VIP people. And tickets have already been selling on that. So we got people in there. Okay. I don't know how late we're going to go Saturday night. We're just going to have fun, and you feel free. All these speakers, like Kevin, are going to have their own booth. They'll have T-shirts. They'll have other paraphernalia, books, whatever.
As long as I can. When I'm
Yeah.
no.
And then when that evening is over, we're going to flip things. The next day, Carl and I are going to be up there talking about our day of preparedness. And a lot of the information on my side did come from FEMA because they had it. Why not? It was outlined real good. Our taxpayer money pays for that information.
Yeah, it's good guideline.
Yeah.
I looked at it.
So, I mean, they got pages and pages. They cover every detail. I mean, from tornadoes to flooding to you name it. Wildcats, you know? So, all right. I think we're ready to go to Kevin and talk about that. Again, www.abnormalalabama.com is the website to buy your tickets. Yes, there'll be tickets on sale at the door. All right. I think for the Cryptocon, Carl is probably going to be our security guard, so don't mess with him. He's mean and ugly. And he carries a big stick.
Well, I'll take it from Rob. We'll see.
Okay. She's going to have you another shirt that says security. I'm spending the night. I'm not even in the morning. So if anything gets stolen, it'll be by me. On one side of your shirt, it's going to say security, and on the back, it's going to say respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
Cartman.
Yeah.
The please.
Please.
She'll come over. All right.
I can do plain clothes, but I think we're not going to have a problem.
No, we don't believe in problems.
Most people are respectful.
Problems, it's against our religion.
Well, we're not there for a problem.
No,
We're there for entertainment.
we are all part of our old hippies. We just don't have hair.
Yeah, I just never got to go without that.
Okay, don't get close to me. Okay. All right, I've been yakking along about all this Cryptocon, their preparedness stuff for almost an hour. He's over here playing a pussy, kitty cat. Thought he was Trump there for a minute. Anyway,
Kitty cat.
yeah, pussy. You're vulgar.
That's you being, but you're the only
You're
one
the
saying.
vulgar.
It's on video. They see.
Take it
All right.
there.
So Kevin Kane, where do you want to
I'm gonna
start?
get to talk
Are you
now.
want to talk?
First, I want to bask in the fact that I get to talk now,
Take your time.
and I guess I put the rubber band. Hey,
Was
ah,
was the cat over your head?
no, that was it. There.
I just happened to see it out of the corner of my
Go
eye.
ahead.
Okay. So I'm about to talk about first. I guess we talk
He's
about
got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
the new book, Crimson the Blood Painting. I'd rather have an actual book here to wave around, but thanks to Amazon Kindle not shipping me any yet.
Amazon Kindle
We're
is
giving,
out.
we're giving Amazon a review here.
Well, I have a poster here. So a little poster, not a bigger. You can see it on there. Crimson the Blood Painting, which is based roughly on true events.
Quick, baby.
It's not about the Crimson Tide. Even though I will say Roll Tide, it's not about the Crimson Tide. This is Crimson the Blood Painting, a supernatural novel based on a haunted painting. Actually, I based it on 2 haunted paintings that I have in my collection. Neither are evil. One of them did come from Salem and belonged to a witch, which mainly this is based on. In fact, that's her used on the cover there. That's her picture there. That's the actual haunted painting that dates back to the pre-Civil War time. The painting is an oil painting of a woman in mourning. I don't know the woman's name, but they just call it Woman in Mourning. She lost her husband or lover in the Civil War battle, and she wore her mourning dress and had her portrait done, which I guess they did a lot back then. And this, for whatever reason, hung in the house of a practicing witch. I'm not sure what she did with it, but it hung in a Salem house. And that lady, eventually after the turn of the century, she got old and passed away. And The painting remained in the house, and the last owner decided to go ahead and sell it, but she would have listed it where it came from in case somebody, you go buy it, you need to know where it's coming from in case something spooky happens. But nothing bad has happened, but I love the story and that it did actually come from Salem, from an actual witch's house. And it inspired me to create a story. That and a real life 911 phone call that I've heard from a man who actually, I can't say who or where, I guess, just in case, but a man who actually murdered his children and blamed it on a demon. So that combined with the paintings, so you got my brain twitching, and I started thinking of this story about, what if there was this possessed item that went from home to home, causing chaos and murder, and that's where the blood painting comes from. So it is available on Amazon in paperback. It looks a million, Barnes and Noble online. If you go online and order it there, if you're a customer there. You can go on Kindle and get it. It's cheaper on Kindle. It's only $4.99.
And if you pre-order it and have it with you when you come to the Cryptocon, he will still
I will still autograph it. If you bought it, bring it. Hey, I'll just autograph it, no charge.
Get him while you can, because this is the future Stephen King right here.
I hope so. I've already had a television company get in touch with me from Toronto, all the way out in Canada.
What did they get?
And the last message I heard, she said they do want to use me for a couple of projects, but they're pitching. It's going to be in the new year.
Did they see the result of the dog that night?
I don't know if she saw it. I told her about it. I told her about it. I shared with her the Fox 6 clip that when Fox 6 came to my house, and I shared with her she already had read the Box article and the Playboy article. Again, that has nothing to do with the Play Bunnies. That was an article that Playboy did about.
He's got his pasties on.
Look at him over there. But
You need to see if you got that article.
I would have not been able to go back to work if that had happened.
But
Kelsey, get the cat so she doesn't like the painting.
I'm excited to see what this new book looks like because it's a little bit bigger than what I've published. I decided to do a 6x9, and they were driving me crazy about that won't fit in that format. These are bigger. I did a larger, like I think 7.5 by 11 size book. So it's kind of like one of those big paperback novels you get at Walmart. So I can't wait to see it with this on it. It looks good.
Well, I mean, and I know y'all can't see this too well in here, but I tell you what, I would like to have that book just so I could lay it in my living room so people would see it. I mean, it's a piece of art, if you like that kind of stuff. I like the macabre and dark and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yep.
It's dark.
You can barely see the base.
Yeah, I purposely did that.
Yeah.
Half of it's in shadow.
Yeah.
So it gives you that creepy feeling. I intentionally did that. I made that cover myself. So I'm proud of that.
Okay, so what do we got up here now?
So up here, now this is one of Catherine's dolls, but if you look in the foreground, this lovely young girl in this painting here, this is an old painting here. Spirit the cat. This is the lovely little Mary up here in this painting. In fact, the girl in the painting in life was Mary. Her name is Mary. And I'm just going to read what the prior owner sent me. I keep a folder of all my haunted items because with all the, I do this with the picture and the story because there's no way I'm going to remember all these 300 items. You can be sensitive and still get confused. So I'm going to read the story about Mary, the haunted painting, which is a tiny one, but it's still a beautiful painting. What do you do?
I'm fixing your collar.
This stupid little collar keeps going up. I fixed it earlier. Oh, Spirit, you're blocking Mary in her spotlight.
Maybe
Mary
calling
likes
her.
kitties. Yeah, Mary is a little girl. She's a very little girl.
So this is the story about
That story is the story of Mary. This is just told by the prior owner. I believe this was Connecticut where this painting came from. It's up in the Northeast. I know that.
Can you move Mary over my way a little bit because the word Kevin Cain is kind of hiding for her.
Yeah.
Why don't we put her up here? And I think we can see her better too.
I know it's not going to
Yeah, it won't slide.
Hold it for just a minute while he's done with the story.
Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay.
Get rid of it.
Oh, you people in your books. Get off that. Get off Mary's painting. Get out of there, you
Oh, man.
little cocky roach, whatever you are.
Cat don't want to get away from Mary.
Hey, my cat. In fact, there's one of my haunted paintings, the old lady that honks that doesn't like cats apparently, because my cat kept going near it, and the painting flew off the wall at her and chased her out of the room. And now she doesn't go near it.
I'm
But,
a bathroom spirit.
So I want y'all to pay
But,
attention. Number one, this guy has been all over the place. So this
Well,
girl's been a superstar.
I've gotten things from all over the world. I've gotten people from the UK, Europe have sent me things, Australia, a few things from Mexico. I mean, just all over.
And by the way,
Ireland.
besides what he's got on my own dog on YouTube, I've got an entire tour of his house.
Yes,
Of
there's a whole
dogs and
tour
all
out there.
that. He's got a cat too.
Yes, I have a cat, a big black cat. She's a tuxedo, but she's still a black cat. All right, so Mary, I didn't mean to ignore you. Here we go. This is, again, it's told by the prior owner, whose name is in here, and I guess I don't have permission to give it. I won't say it. So, all right, the portrait of this child came from a house that my cousin had purchased with her husband. My cousin bought this house, and from what she was told, the house had a long and troubled history. However, my cousin is not someone who truly believes in the supernatural, and so she and her husband bought the house. Sounds like the beginning of a scary movie. The portrait you see here was found in the attic of that house. Ooh. My cousin thought it was pretty and well made, so she cleaned it and brought it into the family room as a piece of art. After she brought it into the portrait into the family room, she stated that she would hear a child's giggle, and sometimes she would hear little footsteps when no one was around on the staircase near the room where the portrait was hung. The little footsteps would echo on that staircase. She brought me in to take a look at the picture, and we did some research, and this is what we found out about the little girl in the painting. The child's name was Miriam, but she went by Mary. She was the toddler daughter of the couple who originally built the house in the late 1800s. They owned the house, the same house my cousin bought, and that child was also killed in that house in an accident. It was something that would involve a fall, according to the records, but it didn't specify. We believe it might have been the staircase, since that's where her footsteps were heard. The parents of the little Mary were beyond devastated by their loss, so the father had this portrait made. It's not the original portrait, but one of the stipulations that the original owner had in his will was that a likeness of his daughter was to always be a part of the house. Therefore, there were some copies made for other rooms.
Is there a little boy in that picture?
A little boy in that picture? That's a little girl.
Dressed like a girl.
No, to the right. Turn the picture back. Turn it back around and back to the camera. Turn it back to the
He's
camera.
trying to say it, she can't.
Oh, okay. Now, where was I?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so a later owner
Let's
must.
give you a hard time.
Yeah.
We'll have to let you finish.
No, you're not.
Tilt it down, the light to see it better if you let the light, nothing like that.
Okay.
This side you look,
There you go.
spacer or something.
There we go.
Not like that.
Okay.
A later owner of the house, in other words, an owner before this cousin, apparently did not like the picture or just didn't care, so he put it in the attic. This was the only copy remaining. My cousin was disturbed by this and asked me to take the portrait with me. I took it home, and a lot of the same experiences took place in my house. There were the sounds of a child's giggle, footsteps on the stairs, and sometimes I'd hear the little child calling my name. So that is the end of the story there. And she put on here that this was to me. She said, I'm going to send you some incense and a white candle to help you welcome Mary, which I used.
So she was telling
But
just a print.
yeah, this is a print of the original portrait. I guess the original was sold off or lost by one of the prior owners. This was the only copy they found in the house, but the records, that's what they found about Mary when they did their research. They talked to people who knew of the original owners. So since I've had Mary, it seems like every time I look at her, I get a warm feeling because I have so many child spirits. If I hear little footsteps or a giggle, that's a normal thing. I can never pinpoint who is who unless they just let me know somehow. So I don't know if I've heard her or not, but I know she's apparently very happy because the good news is I never had anything bad happen with the thing. You know, I've always got a good feeling every time I look at it and her little smile, I feel good. So I think she's happy where she is, and she is hanging on the wall in the doll room so she can look out over all my spirits. And she probably plays with them too. So she's a good, it's one of those I need to get around to doing a spirit box with and see what I can find out. But if she's a toddler, you know, I may not get anything. Sometimes they don't.
How old was she?
It just said toddler age. It didn't say. So I imagine maybe 2 or 3 years old. If looking in the painting, she looks maybe at the most 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that was sad to know that she had fell and died at such a young age. And her father must have loved her a lot to have her portrait done after the fact and wanted to always hang in his home even after he was gone. That's a sad story. A lot of my items have sad stories like that. But it's still very interesting, and I love sharing those stories.
It's very fascinating because every week that we do this, Kevin is bringing another item of some sort.
Usually
dolls.
dolls.
A mask.
Yeah, and stuff. Well, a couple of masks. One was the shapeshifter mask. Another one was an actual haunted porcelain mask. A lady owned.
Didn't they do a rocking horse?
Yeah, I had a rocking horse doll here, and I did that was awesome. I have a spirit box video on my YouTube. The story behind that was the doll was found intact in an old home here in Alabama where a man had shot and killed his 2 daughters and his wife and then turned the gun on himself. And that house is still there. It's run down. The owner doesn't want anything to do with it. It's just, you know, he leaves it there. I don't know if it was in his family or he bought it, but he don't want to touch the house. And it's such a shamble. And yet that doll was in there under the rubble intact. Everything else broken. That doll was intact. And I think it belonged to one of the girls. And the spirit box sessions, first time I've ever had it on one of mine, I was asking about the incident. The sound of gunshots came through the spirit box. That was creepy as all get out.
Oh, I bet it was.
And that happened twice. It's on video. And then I caught some kind of wispy anomaly floating around, going in all kinds of directions next to the chair near where the doll was. And usually I see cat hair or dust, but this thing stuck out. I couldn't see it in the light on the camera. There it was. And I put a close-up of it at the end of that video.
You know, that production company, the Bronco.
Yeah.
You need to send them a link to that video where we broke it down and zoomed in. I mean,
I will. I'll
really
send
pump
it
them up
to her.
because they were real.
That's happened since, and that'll help.
Yeah. I'd like to
But
see
they
you,
are interested. She said they wanted to use me for a couple of projects, but it's going to be in the new year, and they've got to picture around what they want to do and come up with what they're going to do.
Well, with that said, in December, we've got a Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th.
We're going to have a little fun, I think, here at the office. Watch Friday the 13th on episode. You got a Blu-ray version, I think.
Yeah, I've got all of them on DVD. The part 3 I have on Blu-ray because it's in 3D, but you have to have a Blu-ray player. But you can use regular 3D glasses.
So we put the screen up in here and enjoy that.
Yeah.
So you're invited to that. We are, just in case you didn't know, we're at 1430 Highway 42nd South in Columbiana. Our door is open. This is kind of like our church service. He worships God.
I don't worship them. I try to help them and take care of their items.
He is their God. They worship him.
I'm more like a father figure. I'm not a God.
So I get to tell about mine?
El Padre.
Oh, yes, your dog.
Okay,
I had
so
heard the
now
story.
well, it is almost straight up. What you do on the ad real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is 8:01.
Okay, we're back on the air.
Okay, so now, I'm Kelsey, this is Kevin, we have company in here with Carl and John, and then Catherine's over here playing the Geek Squad for us, and, we've been talking about everything from Cryptocon to the Day of Preparedness, 25th, 26th, 27th. All the details are at www.abnormalalabama.com. Subscribe, this is being streamed on our YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button while you're here, we need you to do that for us, please. Then go over to My Haunted Dolls. You can go to myhauntedolls.com or right here on YouTube, My Haunted Dolls, Kevin Cain, and hit the subscribe button with him. Thank you very much, right?
Yes, thank you.
Now, Kevin has been for a moment about his
For a moment.
book, Clickbait Crimson,
Crimson, the blood painting.
and
Supernatural novel.
and then he talked about this painting of Mary,
Mary.
quite the fairy, and little child, interesting story. Are you going to have this story up on your website or anything? If you want to review that, you have this information printed up there.
I could. I haven't put it on the Haunted Doll page. I got the only full story video I've got is Patty, because she was my very first haunted item ever, my haunted doll, Patty. And then there's a story, a little bit about the collection. There's a link you can click on to watch the Fox 6 video that was done in my house, the interview. There's a lot of good shots of the dolls and things. And then there's, after that, just a link to go, look at the videos on YouTube and stuff. But I thought about going out there and doing different
Are you
pages
reading
with these
what
things. I don't know if anybody have any questions.
No, Laura heard something interesting about it.
Oh, maybe it was Mary.
Where you want? No, wasn't you?
Wasn't me. It was. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So we can't review it, Laura, while we're streaming, or we can later. And Catherine somewhere's got on her stream a couple of things that she never has isolated for us.
I'm still learning how to do that.
Oh, the Caroline.
Yeah, I did a spirit box session with Agatha today, which is the new doll, Aggie, and when I was done, I put the camera back, and I went to the restroom, and I come back out, and the camera is completely turned all the way to the left. I know it wasn't
Evil.
I know it wasn't the cat, because if you guys have not noticed, this cat follows me around like a darn dog.
Well, was it on that?
Yeah, it was
It'd be hard for her to turn it and not knock it over.
Right.
She's gonna knock it over.
Yeah. I mean, the cat was with me, and it was just like the camera went shh. I mean, I couldn't see it. I need to go back and review it. But I was in the bathroom, came back out, and first, I don't know why I even glanced over there. But the camera had been moved.
And the other week, excuse me, but John really talked movement. In fact, the camera moved for him, and the camera, you see it stays situated right on Caroline over there. And we're live streaming on YouTube on the same channel. Caroline has her own webcam. She doesn't do anything provocative. It's not one of those webcams.
Well,
that would be fun.
You
You
never
never
know
started
with
doing a little
Caroline.
dance.
If you'll notice, my telescope is not on its stand anymore.
She came in, it was all taken
The,
apart.
the stand is still setting up, but my telescope was laying in the floor, completely taken apart.
Unscrewed.
Everything. And
And
kind of
that
freaked
was
me
the
out.
same time that John Worley, one of our friends from up in the
Gadsden, Rainbow
area,
City.
Rainbow City. We have different people that watch this live stream to see if there's any movement. The camera moved toward that desk and whatever book paperwork on the corner, pointed at that for a few minutes, and then turned back. So if the cat had knocked it, I don't think it would have just turned back.
No.
Did you sneak in here and turn?
Well, that's what we checked. We want to make sure nobody came in and there was nobody here. There's been some strange happenings, which you were part of more than once, right?
Yeah, the figure back there, and then the dolls moving on camera a month ago. And
I came in this afternoon, and I set my music equipment right here by the love seat. Well, the stands for the speakers were sitting here where I left them. Nobody's been here. I get here this afternoon, and they're over there on the floor, just kind of sprawled out.
Maybe the girls were playing with them.
They could have been.
I've had that happen. I've come home, and in the doll room, it's also the library with all my books, and there's a shelf with all my old children's books on it. And I came home. It could be two explanations. I came home, and the door's always shut, so the cat won't get in there. There's valuable items in there. And I open the door and look in, and there's one of the children's books laying on the floor, like if a child was laying there looking at it. And it wasn't there before; it was on the shelf. Two things could happen. Either one of the child spirits was playing with the book, or I noticed it was the same children's book my grandmother used to read to me. Maybe she did it to let me know she had been there. Because she had passed away a few years before, and she does visit me time to time.
Hey, Bigfoot Bob, this is Kelsey. Hey, are you busy? We're doing our live stream here. Say hi to Kevin and Catherine.
Hey,
And
Hey,
then out
Bob.
here is John and Carl. This is Bigfoot Bob. And just noticed as we're streaming, you had posted something about a fairy. Did you catch a fairy? And I'm not talking about going over water fairy.
I was thinking of something.
Where there's some old mines, and in fairy legend, there's a type of spirit called a blue cat, which appears to be like a small flame, usually a blue flame. This one was appears to be like a white flame.
And by the way, Laura Sword from down in near NASA where they shoot the rockets off.
Yeah.
She's watching us. She says hi, Mom. And, so you caught that? Were you out doing your Bigfoot thing and just accidentally caught that?
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out in the video. I like hitting the camera down and it just like goes across, like it's just moving across like the ground or right over the ground.
All right. Is that under your? You got that post under your Bigfoot Bob YouTube channel? Okay, and you've also posted it on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And your Facebook page is Alex Bob?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that, very interesting, and you hear, folks, this guy's going to be with us at the Cryptocon in just a little over a week. He knows his stuff, and he's very entertaining, and you don't want to miss him. He talks about not just Bigfoot, but he gives Kevin Cain a little competition because he's got his own dolls too.
I'm the king.
And we got to get Kevin over to your house because Kevin needs to sit around some Ouija board.
Oh,
I got some 1940s ones to play with.
Oh wow! Hey y'all, got settled in pretty good over there. You got a pet goat or what?
I got 2 kids, 7 cats, and 4 dogs.
All right, so you got a lot of activity. All right.
The ghosts come and goes.
Yeah. Well, we got one cat here. Some people have a church mouse. We have a church cat. We call it Spirit.
Yeah, we actually Actually, that might have been maybe the qualities from there, because I think that was the first time that someone saw it. She saw it at the same first house, and then we started seeing it in our house, and it only lasted for probably about 2 weeks, and we haven't seen it since.
Wow. Well, I took a chance because it just popped up while we're live streaming here. And Brittany coming with you next weekend? Okay. Well, you know, Bob, Alex, we love you, right? But Brittany's a lot better looking than you are. So tell her we're excited to see her as well. So, and I'm going to be there all day Friday, whatever time you guys show up and whatnot. And early in the day is going to be kind of boring. But, time to set up, and maybe I might even kick back a beer or two with you. So, everybody, this is Bigfoot Bob. He's got his own YouTube channel called Bigfoot Bob. And he's also got Spectral Wolf. Is that it?
Yes.
And that's on YouTube as well. And let me tell you what, this guy is a video master. He puts together some very entertaining stuff. It's so good that anytime he does a presentation for us, he doesn't have to talk. He just clicks a switch and plays a video. But we hope you do. Yeah. Well, the only reason I can't guarantee this is because Kevin's going to be there with some haunted dogs. So we never know. But if you guys are out, what time do you think you guys will be getting down there?
I'm not sure just yet. I think we're going to be down Thursday, and then we're probably going to take a little bit of time on the beach.
Okay.
And then we'll probably just come by sometime on Friday afternoon.
Get there early so we can make sure we get everything hooked up and, you know. Yeah. Now, if you're going to be down there on Thursday, I'm coming down there. Foley is shutting their entire downtown down on Thursday evening. They're having a huge Bigfoot, not Bigfoot, ghost Halloween thing. And I'm going to be running around there passing out flyers and having fun. Before, yeah, so if you get down there and want to join us after dark, we're going to have some fun. Foley, they're shutting the entire downtown down on Thursday evening. So, yeah, so we look forward to that. And then Friday, I'll be there at the port all day. So whenever y'all show up, we'll make sure we get everything set up. You're bringing some cool stuff to sell to these people?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Some wax crown mirrors, some stuff for art design, things of that sort.
Good deal. And Brittany is going to bring some tarot cards with her?
Yeah, she'll be doing readings. And yeah, that's pretty much what she's coming to do.
Oh, let me tell everybody, I did not meet her and know anything about her until February the 9th at the castle. These people, Brittany is so good at what she does. These people were lined up halfway down that building to wait to get a reading from her.
Yeah, she's making it cry.
Well, I do that, and I'm not a psychic.
They just look at you.
Kevin said they didn't look at me. Well, I just took a chance. I saw that come through my feed, and I thought that's interesting. Get over to Spectral Wolfpack on YouTube and check out the fairy that he accidentally caught while he was looking for Bigfoot. Kind of makes me think that maybe Bigfoot's a fairy. Wow. Well, you know, your mind is like a parachute, right? It works best when it's open.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Catherine's getting mad because I interrupted her presentation to bring you on the air.
Oh, you did.
Thanks for joining us. Guys, this is Bigfoot Bob, and he's very entertaining. And if you like tattoos, you'll love his arms. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, let's go back to Catherine.
I want to hear more about the telescope.
Finish it up. I'm sorry, but I want to.
You see the base of it right there? The base,
Uh-huh.
the tripod, was sitting just like it is, only out in front of the wall a little bit. But when I came in, the telescope was laying over here, completely disassembled. And if the cat had knocked it over, it would have knocked the tripod and everything over. And it was all screwed together, so did the cat unscrew it?
Was it screwed together good?
Yeah, we had moved it inside and outside. It didn't fall apart. Remember, it was outside there for a while.
Yeah.
We were looking, she was spying on the neighbors, looking at the bedroom window with us.
I was not looking at the neighbors, I was looking at a bird.
Kelsey was probably smiling.
I was looking at a bird.
I gotta figure out some kind of video. I might make some money with it here.
All right, I want to tell the story about my little doll here.
All right.
This is Agatha, aka Aggie. Agatha was a small, petite child that suffered some facial deformities. When she was born, her family did not allow her to see anyone. She was kept away from the outside of her family. As she grew older, her parents locked her in the basement and would not allow her to go outside for fear someone would think she was a monster. She was given a doll to play with and spent all of her waking moments playing with the doll. The doll was the only companion that she had. One night, her father let her out of the basement and told her she could go outside and play. He locked the door of the house so that if she returned, she would not be able to enter again. Agatha wandered around in the dark. She slipped on a rock when she came to a creek. She laid the doll down, slipped on a rock, and hit her head and either drowned or died of a head injury. Trying to get some water, but that's the story of Agatha, or Aggie.
This girl, and she's new to where we are today.
Yep.
Now, you got Sweet Daughter Caroline, that's been live streaming forever now.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of hiccups when we restarted. Is that her sister's?
Yeah, that's two of her sisters over there. The other two are in the office.
Can you give a brief story based on this girl?
Yes.
That was my chair creaking.
Caroline's mother was married to this man, and they had the first daughter. And Caroline's mother got pregnant with Caroline after she was raped, or when she was raped. And then there were, then there were three other sisters after Caroline. Well, Caroline was always treated differently than her sisters were. Her eyes were different. Her hair was straight. The others were curly. They were just different. She was just different from the others. And she, one night, the father left because he got mad at the mother and set the house on fire. And she ran to the neighbors to get help, and all five of the girls died in the fire. That's kind of the story of Caroline, and there are ashes in each of the dolls from each of the girls. They don't know which ashes are in which, but it's obvious that Caroline looks different than the other four dolls.
Now, an interesting thing when he brought one of his dolls just a couple of weeks ago, it looks almost like a smaller twin of that doll standing there. What was that doll? Isn't that right? The one with curly hair on her?
Yeah, the one I brought was a couple of weeks ago. The one that I actually saw, it was standing up on the couch, and all of a sudden it flipped its legs out and sat itself down. Woo! And yeah, she was wearing a dress, same color, and looked like the taller one standing with the pink dress.
Now, the most phenomenal during our show event right here with the two dolls moving.
Yeah.
I think you got a copy of that on your
Yes.
YouTube, and we do too. You probably grabbed mine and stole it.
Okay. Yeah, I copied the clips you made.
Yeah.
I did the Spirit Box session video with those two dolls
So
in my house.
there you go.
And they moved a little bit on that too.
So you need to watch that without paying too much.
Yeah.
And you need to share that with Toronto.
Okay.
And people. That's for your advantage, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's been other activity we talked about back there. We used to do the show back here. We had that different situation, and he and Frank were sitting there. All of a sudden, his jaw dropped to the ground in the middle of a live stream woodland area.
Yes.
And he saw a movement right over here. Frank saw it too.
Yeah, he pointed too. We're both looking at the same time. We saw, what is that, a plastic curtain? It looks like a chapel wall.
Well, it's a fabric, you know.
A fabric.
Yeah.
And it looked like if somebody had walked right next to it and their shoulder was running along, like you could see the shoulder and the arm running like somebody walking alongside it, and they just kind of disappeared. And then he and Frank and Kat went back there to look and didn't see anybody back there.
But
And
then
it happened again later.
Some mist showed up in one of the pictures.
Yeah, later that night after the show, we did a spirit box. It was my video. I was doing the video of the spirit box, and we started seeing mist, and all of a sudden it's swirling and forming like it was spirit trying to manifest, but it never did. It went away, and I got that on video.
Now, Catherine, a little bit earlier, you were telling a story from the Gadsden area. Would you like to give that story again?
Sure, let me get to it.
Haunting in Alabama.
Yeah, let me go back to
It's
it so I
the
can
Halloween
refresh
season.
myself.
We're taking Christmas back in its more original form. by the way.
I gotta
A
find
lot of
it.
people don't realize it, but in the original earlier days of celebrating Christmas, it was a time of telling ghost stories. That's why we have that story of Scrooge and spirits and whatnot. But that's what they used to do for Christmas. They would sit around, roast marshmallows, pop popcorn, and tell ghost stories. That was a Christmas thing.
That's even one of those Christmas songs. Which one is it? They cry one of them sings. The line, "There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmas is long, long ago."
So,
I don't have it pulled up.
okay, we'll talk for a minute. Even though it's hard for us to keep going.
Yeah, it's real hard for him to talk.
Now,
We
tell
can't
us
get him to say a word.
about where we want to go camping next to the graveyard up there. You got any stories to share with us about that place? Is it Lauderdale County?
No, it's interesting though, what they said, a very dark part of the state, where there's not much ambient light, no light pollution.
Right.
And on clear nights, it's down in a low spot. So as the moon appears to move, of course, it's the earth moving. The moon moves very little, the earth is spinning. But as the moon appears to move and shift, sometimes there's reflections coming back from the creek bed, not the creek bed, but the denser part of the property that runs through the creek runs through.
Kind of like a swampy area.
It could be, it's pretty snaky anyway, so it's grown up. And if you sit out there long enough, your eyes get adjusted and you can see a reflection through some starlight. And not far from there is some moss that glows in the dark. It's only found in that
Moss?
world. Lichens.
Okay, but it
They
glows
grow
in
on-
the dark.
They grow on tree stumps. And they have I don't have all this memorized, so I may be getting the off a little bit. There's a phosphorus material that makes them glow like that, and also has medicinal qualities for insects. And during the war, after the Shiloh battle, there was a lot of this moss was collected and used to treat the wounded with. And those that were treated with this phosphorus type lichens and moss healed up better. And I don't know all the details there. There's a lot of natural properties and things that a lot of people don't study now, but it's hard, it's coming back.
So that area up there, was that a big Civil War battle area?
Well, there was a lot of training that went on in that area there, on that side of the river. And there was a lot of mistreatment of civilians there too, but not by the Union Army, but by the Home Guard. But the biggest did some dozer work and they pushed back. The top layers, the owner said you could hear the air points stretching under the threads of the bulldozer.
So just air pockets where.
Air is.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Prehistoric points.
Yeah.
And,
There was just that many of them.
on down from there, there's a place called Faulkner Hollow. The Faulkner family owned it for a long time. And I got confirmed this by one of the living Faulkners that I stood in touch with. And he said, yes, under his bed, he had shoe boxes full of airheads where they collected them. And the papers from the late 1800s wrote, the farmers wrote about there was so many arrowheads in the dirt. When they would plow, the mules would cut their feet.
Walk over.
And so they collected them up, just like rocks, and piled them at the end of the roads where the fruit trees were. They just put them around the fruit trees like mulch.
I remember when I was a kid, North Alabama, it was not uncommon to still find arrowheads just laying around on the dirt, you know what I'm saying? And I guess we've collected so many of them now, it's rare.
No, they're still there. They're just getting covered up every day on parking lots,
I
roads,
got you.
construction, backfill. When you go in and dump 10 tons of dirt on top of them, then nobody's ever going to find them now.
Yeah.
But this one location, I had people want me to take them up there and rent equipment so we could dig for more.
Okay.
And I said, that's fine, but, you know, I'm telling you now, it's grown up right now. We'll have to mow before we do that because they haven't been maintained in over a year, probably 15, 16 months.
Now, this is the property you talked to me about before. It's privately owned by one of our ham radio guys.
Yes, it's still for sale, but he still owns it now.
Okay.
He will let me know when it does sell, but we can go up there and do anything we want to do.
Anything.
Anything.
Oh, man.
I'll close optional.
Anything.
You know, just stay off the road.
Yeah, you want to stay on the property.
Yeah, you want to stay on the property.
What
What
happens-
happens on the property is private.
Well, it's kind of like Las Vegas. What happens on the property stays on the property. Yeah. I got you.
Nobody, it's so grown up, nobody can see anything from the road.
Well, now we're getting into the time of year where you don't have to worry a lot about ticks and that kind of stuff, too.
There'll be a frost or two coming pretty soon up there.
Take
So
care of
that'll slow them down.
Yeah.
So you still want to be careful about snakes and ones up in the daytime.
Oh, yeah. They'll sneak early.
There is a public creek that runs through the property.
Yeah.
And one of the things about, like they said, about going on other people's property and all, the creek is public. It's accessing the creek. It's not public. So to access the creek, you have to go in where there's a right of way, like where a bridge crosses, or the road comes up close to it. So that if you want to get into the water, you do so at a public access. But once you get in the water, you're really not supposed to trespass.
No, stay on the water.
If it's posted, you stay in the water, in the creek.
Right.
And it's not too deep, but it's deep enough that you could get into it.
So you spent quite a bit of time up there, it sounds like.
And just lately, the taggers, the vandals,
Yeah.
have been spray painting the rocks. On that's the
Why do they want to do that stuff?
I don't know.
They got nothing else better to do.
I'm just hoping I'm not there and catch them doing it because then somebody's gonna not like me.
You'll
I'm gonna
tag,
make them clean it off.
you'll tag them.
No, I'm gonna make them clean it. I'm gonna make them remove it.
Get some orange fluorescent paint, spray them.
Make them lick it off.
So
It's probably
have
just
you,
kids, but still,
have you ever had any strange experiences up there? Unexplainable, spooky, Bigfoot, or?
No, I'm not, but, I've not been up there with a group that's looking for it. In other words, I can't get, you know, when you go now, like, further over to the west,
Mhm.
is where you start running into these lichens that glow in the dark. And once you get out, let your eyes get adjusted, because light takes over a half an hour. And you need to use filters on your lights and maintain your light discipline and things like that, so that your eyes if you do like the pirates, cover one eye, so that when you get blinded in one eye, you can look the other eye,
Right.
and see in the dark. But these glow in the dark things, they're pretty weird. And you can see them from 50 to 100 feet away.
That things like that, I'm sure that back in the early days, a lot of these urban legends of sorts came from because they didn't know what they were looking at. They would just see this strange light, and that's I assume where a lot of ancient stories
There's a lot of weird reflections out there at the night too.
How many acres?
They may or not be supernatural or paranormal, but it's unusual because most people will not take the time to let their eyes adjust.
They're not patient.
They don't know how to look in the dark. You don't look directly at something.
Right.
If you want to see it and use your night vision, you look slightly above it.
Right.
So if you're walking down the trail, if you practice this, you look at the top of the tree and see the trail better. If you try to look right down at the trail, it'll disappear a little bit. It's the way your eye works.
Yeah.
Kinda like wearing glasses.
My doctor can explain it better than I can.
Well, here's the thing, and I hope everybody's paying attention to what Kevin's been saying, what Carl's been saying, what Bigfoot Bob was saying. These guys are a wealth of knowledge. They each have their own knowledge base, but you're not going to be bored at that Cryptocon. The stories that will be shared, and then just some of your talk. We got a story to share.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna read it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
typed on a peanut earlier. It's hard for me. to
Okay, so Kevin has got. Is this the one from Gaston?
Yes.
All right. So if everybody wants to sit back for a moment, dim your lights, and got your popcorn, and you might need a Jägermeister or something for this story.
I've never even heard this
So
one.
this is out of Gaston, and it's one that I've never heard of, and it's an old ghost story. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, this takes place on Hines Road in Gaston, Alabama. And this was from a user named Avatar who shared the story. It says, "Let me introduce you to the witch of Hines Road. She lived in a tiny shack back in the woods off Hines Road. Hines is a very hard to get to spot, but when you do you feel like you're in a different world. And it's been told that she was an old mystic that went by the name Torbit that sold her soul to the devil. Around the turn of the 19th century was her reign, and what a reign it was. For 20 years, she terrorized the citizens of Gadsden and especially their children. Mainly those who were foolish enough to venture up to Hines in search of her were terrorized for sure. It is said that she would kill them and drink and bathe in their blood to keep her young and decorate the outside of her shack with their bones. For years, children went missing, and for years, the adults were far too afraid to venture up to Hines to call out the witch. Until about 1939, when the current mayor said enough is enough and sent a mob up to get her. What they found turned their hair white and drained all blood from their faces. They first found a pond, or what would have been a pond, had it not been completely filled with blood, body parts, and some still whole bodies of children of all ages. When they were able to get their bearings and their stomachs back, they ventured further up the winding dirt road, and on the side of the road, they saw a cave that had the foulest of stenches coming forward. One brave soul went in and let out a shattering scream, and he came out stark white. The man never spoke of what he saw. As a matter of fact, he never spoke again after that. No one else was brave enough to go in to see what he had saw. Even though some nerves have faltered, a smaller band went on to the cabin where they found her at her front door,
and they were amazed to see a young, beautiful woman with long black hair and emerald eyes, naked and covered in blood. They asked the woman, "Are you the one that they call the witch, Torbit?" "It is I," she replied. And without hesitation, they threw their flames on her and her den of death. They watched as she burned and the cabin turned to ash. This all went on, and it is said that those down in the city could hear her cackling laughter and see the white hot flames and smoke rising from the mountain. Now, here are the claims that I guess go on to this day. The claims are that number one, you can still see her ghostly cabin in the woods when the moon is full and the light shines down on the abandoned lot, that to this day nothing will grow. Some have seen her dancing, still young and beautiful, covered in blood and cackling, casting her spells on any child that is brave enough to come up there. Number two, the pond, now full of water, looks quite beautiful, but it is said that you can see orbs of light dancing across the water, and it's said to be the spirit of the children that were never put to rest on hallowed ground, lost between this world and the other world. And sometimes Torbit herself will make an appearance in the woods across from the pond at the water's edge, dipping her hands down in the pond and pouring the water over herself as if it was still her bloody fountain of youth. Number three, the cave still has a very foul stench coming from it. I, for one, know this to be true, and no one, including me, will go too far into it when we visit. And those who do will not tell of what they see. There has been one exception to this. It's said to be a young woman went back far enough to see a skinned dog, still alive and standing and smelling of rotting flesh and growling. Number four, young kids who are devil worshippers use this as their stomping ground. Caught up there after dark will be beaten or killed. That's probably an urban legend. And I, for one, believe this because I've seen evidence of their being there. And that was it. It said, "Hope you like a pic of the Hines Road," and she put a pic out there, which would be nice if we could show it. There it is. Oh, yeah, that's got the makings of a supernatural.
Yeah, Hines Road is a paved road, by the way, now. I don't
Yeah,
know what
this is
that
probably
story
the-
was written.
This
It's
is a path leading
very
off it.
narrow, little winding road. It actually winds in behind Nakalulu Falls, between Nakalulu Falls and 59.
We'll be there Saturday. Ooh.
What are you doing there Saturday?
Me and my family are going up there just for a family day.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
there's a
nice.
powwow. It's a Native American powwow.
Okay.
And we're going
Yeah.
to go.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, we're going to go for the powwow because we're Cherokee and all that.
Oh, you're Cherokee?
And yeah.
I'm Crete. We're
Yeah, I'm part Cherokee, part Welsh, and probably
There
got
was this
German.
young, do you go any of the powwows?
I've never been to one. This will be my first.
really.
So there was a young, in Oklahoma, where there's a lot of Native American, there's a young white boy that went to a powwow, and he wanted to fit in. You probably heard this before, that all white people say it. He's sitting there with a chief and all the big Indians, for the powwow, and he looks at him and says, "I got a little Indian in me." And the chief looked at him and said, "How's it like a big one in you?" Okay. Figure late enough to tell her what Hines Road, it's Hinds.
Yes.
It's not Hines, it's Hines.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And it does run right behind Nakalulu Falls, between there and 59. So if you get a chance, you might want to.
I'm going to look for that as we're
The
going.
road doesn't look bad. I mean, it's
It's paved, and
it's a narrow road, but
I guess it's a matter of finding whichever path leads off into that old
Yeah.
cave and where
So,
the house used to be.
there's even some videos on YouTube about it.
Oh, I'm going to look those up.
Maybe we can go make a new video our video's a lot better than everybody else's.
He is so humble. He never.
Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble. Perfect in every way. Did they give an address? Just
It just says no. It says Hines Road.
Okay.
There's no.
It's not a very long road. It starts at 211 and ends in a subdivision over there. So you can kind of see right here. It starts there and winds around and goes right into what looks like a subdivision. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be too hard to hopefully find something. Interesting story. Thank you for sharing that. We've got roughly 15 minutes left in this broadcast on this Tuesday night. And we covered a lot of territory tonight.
Yeah, we covered ghosts, haunted dolls, Bigfoot, witches, fairies.
Some glow in the dark moss.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, glow in the dark moss.
We've talked about several dolls tonight. And so we got just a little over a week and a half roughly. And Foley, Alabama, on the 24th, shutting their entire downtown down for a festival of sorts, the street festival, there'll be vendors, and I guess there'll be costumes, whatever, I don't know. But I don't know why they're doing it on the 24th, but it works out good, I guess. So I'm going to try to be there for that, running around, having a good time, passing out flyers to get people to come and listen to you guys. And we had the privilege, I just happened to get Bigfoot Bob on the phone for a moment, and so everybody kind of get a.
Thought of something when you
Yeah.
said glow in the dark moss. We could everything. I could throw in a real quick alien story
Let's
that I,
go, let's go.
that I heard this past week that I didn't even know about either. You know, back in the late 50s, that Steve McQueen movie came out called The Blob.
Yes.
I'm sure you're old enough to remember The Blob. I actually have it on digital. I've got the remake that in the 80s. But yeah, The Blob, about that slimy creature that came to Earth in a meteor. And this poor old hermit man who lives nearby the shack goes out to see the meteor and he busts it open. There's a little blob in there. And he pokes at it with a stick and it comes up the stick and attaches itself to him and literally absorbs him over a short amount of time. And then this thing, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, gliding and sliding around the town. I mean, that's a creepy movie for 1958. But did you know, and I didn't know this past week, it's on YouTube, the man that wrote that script is actually based on a real incident, not, a blob killing people, but there was something seen out of the sky about 2 years before that movie came out. And part of his script is based on that. I think they said it was Ohio, but I could be wrong. But these two patrol officers were going down one of these old county roads like out here where you got woods and hills. And they saw, and it was nighttime, they saw a parachute coming down out of the sky into the woods. And they said, wait a minute, we better go check this out. There shouldn't be a parachute in here. They're thinking they're going to write a ticket, get
Now, where was it?
I think it was Ohio, but I could be wrong.
Because there's been a lot of stories coming out of Ohio in that area.
Yeah. But they saw the parachute come down, and they finally get to where they saw it go down, and they get out of their car, go in the woods, and go until they find it. And much to their horror, it was not a parachute, and then neither was there a living being around there. There was this big mass of what they described like gelatin, some blobby mass on the forest floor. That's what they seen floating down. Well, they went, they said they could see it kind of moving a little bit, and it scared the crap out of them. So when I went back and called for help, and by the time the chief and people got there, it was there, but it started crystallizing. And then eventually it just broke up into dust and went into the ground. They don't know what the heck it was. These were very well-known police officers that were not kooks. And people respected them. Hey.
It wasn't anything Kelsey knew.
What did Kelsey do?
I got stories about some Alabama police.
Thankfully, this was out of state.
I'm not going to get into that on this show, but I knew as soon as you said that, I knew. He's looking at me.
But there's a video out there, because it's Halloween, there's a lot of these videos. And I just have to watch it. I think it's called 10 horror movies based on real events. Of course, you have
Texas Chainsaw Massacre and things we know about, but I didn't know the Blob
I didn't
was
either.
based on an actual incident witnessed out in the woods by a police officer. I mean, this thing must have been big. It's like a parachute coming down out of the sky, just drifting down. What was it? Where did it come from? And then it crystallized and then crumbled and just disappeared. I mean, there's all kinds of, what all is out there floating around space that we don't know about. Maybe junk or maybe stuff we created that's gone up and that's coming back down. I mean, but it's freaky. At least it didn't slither around eating people.
Thank goodness. I don't know.
But,
Some people I'd like to get eaten by a blob.
But the thing that I love the Blob, it's a creepy movie, but that intro song when the movie comes on, that Beware of the Blob song, cracks me up every time I hear it. I'm sure they'll show it on Turner Classic sometime soon. That was Steve McQueen's first movie, and he wasn't exactly proud of that either.
Do you remember the Disney movie they made? I can't think of what it's called. They had the blob in there, and his name was Bob.
I know what you're talking
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what
The
you're talking
gigantic,
about.
the girl had a bunch of cryptids in there. Maybe some of this stuff is actually real, as far as like the blob. They were housed in Area 51, and
Yeah.
think
I
about it.
haven't had a blob experience, but I've had a Men in Black UFO experience.
Yeah.
We know that one.
Which I've shared. I'm not going to share it again. My distant cousin, her daughter, played in a new movie about this incident that just came out, the Kirksburg UFO incident. Remy Moses is her name, and that's the only reason I found out about the movie.
I used to watch it on history sometimes.
Yeah, well, they did a movie about this. Let me, and I haven't even seen it yet.
There's a lot. There's been several movies in the last few decades.
But this is a major sighting up there, and I remember the story. Let's find the movie. But it's called the Kirksburg incident, and this goes back to 1965. Where's the movie? Let me type in the movie. There's the trailer. It's just called Kirksburg, and just came out this year, and so that if you like UFO stories, this is based on a true account, and they spent the last couple of years filming this, and Remy is part of that. That's the only reason I knew they were filming it. I think they went to Virginia or somewhere to do a lot of filming, even though the incident took place in Pennsylvania. So it's a Kirksburg UFO incident that happened back in the 60s, 1965. And there's a lot of material, but it didn't get the attention. Area 51 kind of took over everything. But there's been a lot of, like the one you shared in Ohio, there's been a lot of incidents around.
Yeah, and then I talked to another circle about that movie Phoenix Forgotten, about the Phoenix Lights back in the 90s. And just a year or two ago, somebody finally made a motion picture based on that, used the real footage that they had caught in the movie. And it's on DVD. I saw it in the theater. My sister went with me. She likes alien movies if they're good and suspenseful and not kooky sci-fi channel movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her there, Remington Moses. Her father was William Moses.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, I love that area out there. I last time I was out there, I had a van that I sold on eBay. They paid me to drive it out to them. Really? So you get out going to the other side of. I don't care much about Texas and all that, but when I got to the other side of Albuquerque, on the other side of the Sandia mountain chain, I love that area through there, the cactus and the desert, favorite. And I love to drive at night. And you get on your radio and you pick up all the Native American radio stations, so you get that kind of music. It kind of sets the atmosphere.
That's all you need to get on the radio.
That's it. And then out in the middle of nowhere, about 100 miles west of Phoenix, off of I-20 or whatever I was on, 40, there's a huge casino.
Middle of nowhere.
And George Jones was playing there. Huh?
I didn't.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This was just a few years before he died, so he made that one. But I love that area, and it's so you know where these old stories came from, and you just have that feel. And of course, I like driving at night anyway. Less traffic, sunlight not glaring in your eyes, that sort of thing. But if you ever get to take that drive, you never made it out there that far, but the painted desert, petrified forest, all that stuff.
Well, I like to drive out somewhere and then get set up. Have everything ready to spend the night.
Yeah.
And then just sit there and watch the sun go down and let your eyes get adjusted.
Well, you need to go out to Slab City. You familiar with Slab City? Y'all got to look. You not familiar with Slab City?
I've heard that.
Old military base used to be government property and it's out BLM land now. You know, out in Arizona, out in the middle of nowhere. So all these kind of homeless people decide they want to get away from society. They built a town. You look at it on YouTube and people make videos about it. I mean, really, you just go out, follow some land, build your place, or park your RV, or they've got all this folk art stuff. It's really fascinating. And they've got a big bar area set up where they put on shows every night. Made a whole community out of it. It's called Slab City.
Slab
I want to go where there's not all that.
Well, no, it's just interesting.
It sounds like,
But there's some people that want to feel.
Yeah, well, a lot of people it did because they moved out there.
it sounds like a bunch of bodies on a slab.
Well, Slab City because of concrete slabs are still there. So, you just made me think of that. I'm like you. I'd rather be where there's nobody. Yeah.
I don't mind being on one for my.
Well, you know, and if you're looking for a UFO, you got your field of vision out there. Compared to here, you got tree lines and whatnot. Out there, it goes into infinity. You can see it over the horizon.
When you can see stars from one horizon to the other.
Yeah.
You're out of the way.
It is awesome. Yeah. When you get out there. And the Phoenix Lights. The UFO thing over Phoenix. Remember the Phoenix Lights?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like 100 people or more saw these things.
Yeah.
I'm closer in my belief system, believing in a UFO than I am ghosts and phone calls.
Hey.
But
Cover your ears, children.
Yes, Mary, don't listen to him. She's right in front of you.
got any closing words? Any closing words? Closing words?
Don't forget to buy your ticket for the Cryptocon, October 25th and 26th.
And Carl,
And we could use some more folks for the Sunday.
if you've got, yeah, we're gonna talk. We're going to talk about ham radio too. We're talking about communication. In fact, we're going to talk about ways to communicate, even if you're not a ham operator. There are ways to effectively, if you got to go out looking for some deer meat or something to stay in touch with your family, wherever you're bugged out at or whatever. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things. And guess what? Carl and I are so cheap. You'll see us free.
They're cheap.
We're not cheap, we're free.
Yeah. We are the
They're frugal.
the Columbiana thrift store coming to Orange Beach.
They're frugal fellows.
I may try to reach out to some more people that do camping gear and things like that.
I saw where you tried to get Peter.
And since there's no eviction,
Yeah.
they could donate some money for a table and bring anything they want to say.
That's it.
I mean,
As long as it's related to this stuff.
well, yeah, as long as it's not like something dangerous or illegal or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm illegal, immoral, and that kind of thing. Just regular-
Well, we don't mind immoral. We don't mind immoral. Just
Well,
not.
yeah, that's up to interpretation. But if it's anything that's okay with you, will be fine with me.
Okay, you sure about that? You know me pretty well. Fair warning, your wife friended me on Facebook. Did you warn her?
She did me too. She did me too.
Ma'am.
No, I don't. I don't. We need to keep up.
Oh, gosh.
You got it wrong. You need to keep both eyes on her. All
Even
right.
a third eye. You got it.
Well,
She
thank,
has a third eye.
Yeah.
She's retired,
how did you
but
get such?
she's off school for over 3.5 days.
I got to kiss up a little bit. How did you get such a smart woman to get attracted to you?
He was being cheeky.
You know, I'm afraid that she said they thought I married a real young woman, but she's younger. But anyway, maybe she would come in where I work when I transfer somewhere, and they'd say, "How did you get such a young pretty wife?" I said, "I wasn't scared to talk to them like y'all are."
Yeah.
They would see a woman come in, "Oh, wow." They were talking to her, you know, and I go over and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know,
I'm not afraid to
Well,
talk
see,
to them.
that's
They run away
why a
from me.
lot of people,
I'm shy.
when I was younger, you know, the whole thing was that, you know, the guys walk around saying, why is that foxy woman walking around that ugly dude? It's because the ugly dude wasn't afraid to talk to her. And the
I
ugly,
wasn't afraid to hear the word no.
it was usually your kid.
Well, what you have to do is
He would
you
be
have to be ready for
That's
You want me
it.
to find you?
That's what they
the
say.
yes. When they say yes, you have to be ready to move.
You don't have time to back up, huh?
You don't have to go.
Yeah, well, you said
Well,
yes.
it's not that
Let me read what the book says here. Okay, all right, it is time to call it a day. Thank you guys for showing up. Kevin,
My100dolls.com. Go buy Cricks and the Blood Painting. It's out now. My new novel.
and of course, right here, you're on YouTube, subscribe to this channel. We've got stuff on our website that sells Bigfoot and whatnot, and she's made up a bunch of t-shirts on our page. And yes, we owe you a
we may
t-shirt.
have a unscheduled one day out here in the driveway.
We do it. This is a high traffic, very high traffic. Yes, we need to do it. And you're gonna help us, she's gonna bring her tower, we're gonna set up an antenna here, have a mini,
Yeah, we don't have to wait for the tower, we can still set up an antenna.
yeah, so we need to hook that up.
Matter of fact, I missed checking into the net an hour ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no, it's up and running.
Yeah.
One of the local Shelby County sister repeaters is very close by on the fire tower at Pinnacle Point.
And what frequency?
It's 146.980.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I used to talk to. If I didn't get to 3.2, I talked to the 9.8. And the 9.8 would cover, actually, what I found out about the 9.8, I'm sorry, folks, it's ham radio talk. It would go, I could talk to 9.8 all the way up, almost to Gardendale.
Nice. You got good.
3.2, I couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the 9.8 went for, in fact, we
I'm going
covered
to
the
commercial.
9.8 south of Montgomery. Yeah, in fact, when we did some of the call-ins, there was I think a black guy was calling from Montgomery a lot. On 3.2.
That's the